Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Friendship University podcast. We are here for another episode. You know why we're here, y'all. If you don't, go back and watch another episode, because I ain't going to keep doing this. Just go back and listen to what we said on the last episode. You know why we're here. People are our greatest resources, and that's it. We're shutting the door on it. I'm Christan, and this is my lovely co-host, Tarrah, and we are super excited, because just do it, man. Enough. Just do it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, okay? We're trying to make this a real accredited university out here. Okay, people need help. They need help. Y'all anxious. You're not sleeping. You're tired. You don't trust nobody. You don't want to talk to nobody, but you want friends. You're going out every night, and then you're feeling lonely when you get home. We're just trying to help y'all, okay? That's what we're here for. So like, comment, share, subscribe. Very easy ways. Really, truthfully, though, seriously. Those are really easy ways for you all to be able to support us in a non-monetary way. But if you want to give some money,
listen,
You
see these nice plants and lights and pillows and things?
She has to be watered.
Listen.
Where am I getting to? She needs fancy water. You see the green on these? I've cultivated this plant. She gets purified spring water. Actually, not purified. She gets spring water, okay? And that's not cheap. That's why these leaves look so green. It's not fake. It's not the color. They look like this in real life because I take care of her. There are other plants around this house that need to get taken care of. What am I going to do when I actually have real children? Do y'all want us out on the street starving? I don't think so. So, like, comment, share, subscribe. We do have a link tree, though, where if you really do feel it in your heart, if you're watching on YouTube, I think there's a way to give on YouTube. I'm not sure if that...
Like you can buy things?
Yeah, we can totally use that as well, but we really are just trying to build community right now. And one of the easiest and fastest ways for that to happen is if you all are sharing the content, sending it to people you think will find it useful, reposting, like, commenting, and subscribing. Like we said, get our subscriber count up. I want to be at 1,000 subscribers within the next 3 months. I think we can do that.
I think we can do it.
I think we can do that. Mm-hmm. And we're leaning into our community of support to make that happen. So we are here for another episode. You doing okay, Tarrah?
I'm doing great.
You're doing great? I'm doing great as well. All is well with my soul. Y'all, happy Black History Month. We made it. Y'all don't see my sweatshirt. It's Be Free. Yes. Shout out to well, I mean, no longer a slave to that kind of master. But yeah, shout out to Chilio.
Slavery's in your mind.
Cause we was wolves. But nah, y'all, for real. Happy Black History Month. We made it to another month in 2025. Man. We're hoping January was so kind to you all.
Absolutely.
Y'all know how it go, because start getting the ducats in order, because everybody be talking about, oh, it's so slow. January was 3 years. Mm-hmm. February is so long. And then March and the spring and the summer roll around. And then, baby, before you know it, we're going to be back in December.
Yeah.
Time
waits for no man.
Time waits for no man, for sure. I thought it would be fun for us to play a little game. So everybody's probably, or if you're not, you could Google it. But there's a game called Black Card Revoked that a lot of people like to play. We're going to do our own rendition of it. So the prompts on the cards, they are questions, and I thought it would be fun for us to actually just offer our own answers to them.
Okay.
What we think.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
So I got the kicker for you. I'm coming out the gate, fo.
Okay.
Who is the best female soul singer of all time? Soul.
I think Aretha Franklin is soul.
Yes.
Remember when on the episode you said, you better respect?
I these 2 songs, y'all. I was delirious. If y'all only knew what time of the night and the day it was. I mix respect and you better think.
You better respect. I was like,
it was a bop, honestly.
I said, you better
respect. And she was like, wait a minute, you
right
doing 2 songs. I was trying to say you better think about what you're trying to do to me, though.
Oh, that was funny.
Yes, I think
it's Aretha Franklin. If you say soul, I would say Aretha Franklin.
So do you put Anita Baker into soul?
Yes, but I don't think she's the queen. I think Aretha Franklin is the queen of soul.
I agree.
Yeah. I think Anita Baker has more jazz influence, and she is soulful. And she is in a league of her own. She's amazing. But, I mean, like, I think Aretha Franklin is, like, the foundation of a lot of female vocalists after her. Mm-hmm. They were all influenced by her, you know? So
I can agree with that. I think she is the queen, who is the mother.
The mother.
And she has a lot of children.
I agree.
Yeah.
Son.
You been, and y'all my sons, so I call you son. Okay. Which gospel artist makes you want to go to church when they sing?
That Leandria.
Leandria's a good choice. I didn't think you were gonna go that way with them cigarettes.
The paint off the wall.
She really does.
I mean, like, I love Chandler Moore. Like, I love him. He's like one of my favorites. But I love Leandria. But my favorite gospel artist, of all time.
Of all time, that's a different question than going to church. But you can give me the all time. Who's the favorite of all time?
Marvin L. Winans.
L. Winans.
I kind of had a little bit of a crush on
I
Marvin
can
Winans.
see that.
Not a crush, but like I just love him. Like,
but he been old our whole life.
I know. I just love him. I just love his voice. Like he could sing.
It's very silky. It's really nice.
It's like.
It's very it's like, powerful but soothing. It's like a hug.
Yummy. It's like a yummy thing to eat. It's just so yummy. His voice is just like, Marvin,
sing me to sleep.
Sing to me. Yes, amazing.
That's funny. Go to church. You said Leandria is good.
Leandria.
She's
seen the paint off.
She does.
Yeah, for sure.
That when you think about like core black church.
Yeah, she gonna sing down.
Like make the drug dealer stand up.
Yeah.
In the pew.
Yeah.
It's really
with his drug dealer praise.
Cause it's all you, God. Cause you did it, God. Cause I'm just a thug, but I still love God.
It's like a drug dealer praise. You know what I'm saying?
People really be in church doing that now. It's really, I mean, God said come as you are, I guess.
Remember when you ever seen that clip of that girl? She was young. She was like Gen Z. And she was like, the region was preaching. She was like, period.
I did not see that. I would have been like, excuse not period. Because that's on God. Because God said.
Right, period.
We seriously cannot be the new adults. This is crazy.
Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, we're not prepared. We don't have no candy in our purses. We don't have no tissue.
I am not ready.
We're not prepared. We're not prepared.
We are not prepared.
We have not got our pinching license.
Do people still have? We ain't got Dutch ovens out here. Are people making pot roast anymore? They not making.
Y'all using them. Y'all using
air fryers.
Air fryers. Y'all don't know how to cook.
You can't turn an oven on. Don't know how to prepare no salmon outside of the frozen salmon that you throw it in the air fryer. Do people even own crock pots anymore?
Baby.
That's crazy. I can't. I'm gonna say
y'all air frying everything. That ain't even supposed to be. That's not even supposed to be air fried. People.
Why? Why are y'all doing this? It's not even supposed to go in there.
Get that macaroni and cheese out there.
Stop making that cake in that air fryer.
Stop it.
Stop making that cake in that air fryer. Period.
Stop. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it.
Now you had enough. It's you.
I had enough.
Leandra's a good choice.
Yeah, she is. I think so. What about you?
I would have to say, honestly.
Okay.
And this is just, I'm thinking of like altar call, touching my heart.
Touch my heart.
Yolanda Adams.
Oh, Yolanda Adams.
It's like either Yolanda or Israel.
I love Israel.
It's like that is making me think.
I have a thing. I love me some Yolanda Adams, but my mama played it
out. That's fair.
I
can see that being her. I can see that being her favorite artist.
Show me how. I'm like, oh my God, Mom.
I mean, listen.
The heart is open.
Is it? She said, is it though? Because it feels still closed. So I'm going to come in your bedroom at 3 a.m., put that on your face, and we're going to listen to you Yolanda Adams. So your heart open. Period.
I'm tired of it.
Enough. To be fair, that's how my mom was with Kirk Franklin. I said, I can't stomp another stomp. Enough. My foot is through the floor at this point.
Break that CD. I know every word to like the CD with Melodies from Heaven and on it. Like, more than conquerors. Because we rode to Florida and
y'all listen to it over and over. How long is the trip from Chicago to Florida?
Like 20 hours.
That is disgusting.
I know every word.
That means that CD was like playing in no less than 30 times.
I know the whole thing. The ad-lib. Every ad-lib. Every ad-lib.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that's the only reason I'm picking one of those two. Like Leandra is like that church, like church house, give you that good. But when I'm thinking like, yes, will you and your, I won't do it again, God, and then you leave and no, you gonna do it again.
Toe up.
But yes, okay. What kind of fish is the best fried fish for a fish sandwich?
Fish sandwich?
A fish sandwich.
You don't usually put catfish on a fish sandwich.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's a difference. There's a distinction.
It's a difference.
The fish sandwich, though, with the white bread.
Do they put cod on a fish sandwich?
Or you can, but the whitening is what is in the fish
in the hood.
Yeah, the fish spot.
It's white.
It's whitening.
It is.
I would agree with that. Now, you know, a lot of people like the tilapia as well, though the man-made fish.
No, we don't fool with that.
But yes, I go for a good whiting. Whiting is.
I would agree with some tartar sauce.
I go a little hot. I go hot sauce mustard.
Okay, mustard.
Hot sauce mustard.
Okay.
I do like tartar sauce, but you know I like tangy.
Sauce. You know what?
Salty.
I didn't like tartar sauce until my brother-in-law's mother came from Louisiana. She's from Baton Rouge, and she made the tartar sauce from scratch, which I had never experienced, and so I was changed for life.
I can imagine that probably is very different.
I was. She deserved an award.
Okay.
She can cook for real.
I like when relatives come out of town and they cook the house down.
Oh yeah, everything.
But see, here's the thing: could you, in your family, is it okay to give praise to other people, or do your mama or your grandmother be like, so you just don't like my cooking?
I don't think it says that. Yeah, I don't get that.
Mad?
No, they don't get mad.
Okay, my parents never really get mad, but I was with somebody. Their parents got mad when they would like.
I know people relatives. Like I have experienced that where I if somebody can try to compete with you cooking like secretly. Yeah.
And you don't even know it. What are you doing?
Are you trying to compete with me? Are you trying to outcook me? Interesting.
That's fair. Okay, I would agree. Whitening. Okay, this gonna have multiple choice because there's so many. Who's the funniest comedian of the last 20 years? Chris?
To me?
Actually, no. I would like to hear your answer outside of the choices.
Probably
to you.
Probably for me, Cat Williams.
Cat Williams.
Yeah, Cat Williams and Dave Chappelle.
Chappelle Show.
His skits are his standouts are funny, but his skits to me were like iconic.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, the Dave Chappelle skits were like. I'll never forget that.
For sure.
Like culture shifting, but yeah,
it's still relevant to this day.
Cat Williams is really funny because like even when he was on My Wife and Kids.
Oh, as the dancer. The break dancer.
He was break dancing and he was like his arch nemesis. he said right in on that fake chorus. He took out the Cecily's. He said, "Whoa."
It really gave the Martin fake dog vibes.
He used to say, I'm slumming. He used to say, "Whoa, Cecily," and it was like on a stick.
I remember it used to be between like the kitty horses that you used to give kids. I don't think it's underrated, but My Wife and Kids, when we're having these conversations about like the Martins, the Fresh Prince. My Wife and
Kids was
I know funny. It was later, like in the 2000s, but My Wife and Kids was funny.
It's so many episodes that are etched in my brain that are like hilarious.
The Wayans are like the family of comedy.
I have so many episodes of My Wife and Kid that I was like, that was hilarious.
Remember taking them pills for his hair? He was like, and then David Alligator was on there, and he was like, and David Alligator was like, no. And he was like, I just want to, And he had the little patches. And what you call it was like his wife was like, Tisha Campbell was like, this making you crazy. He's like, I'm not crazy, you're crazy. You're just jealous. He had that hairspray. Yeah, I think we should start when we're having the conversation about like iconic really black sitcoms and television shows.
Remember when they had them Blinky Doos?
Blinky Doos, fun for me, fun for you.
Blinky Doos.
These are my favorite shoes.
That was so
It was an
funny.
all-star cast.
It really was, and the way they kept evolving, adding new characters, like when they added Cat Williams and when they added Franklin.
Yes.
And him and Katie's relationship.
And even Franklin had a sister at one point. Remember, Franklin's sister could sing better than Katie. But he wanted Katie to be in the front.
Said, "Oh, Katie, you just light my fire."
Yeah, great, iconic.
Great writing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I wish I could have seen more from the rest of the cast.
I wish I could have seen more from the Wayans, period.
Oh, I think the Wayans have done enough. The Wayans is the family of comedy.
I know.
They're the only family, I think. Yeah, but there's still, not Damon Wayans. Yeah, Damon Wayans. He had a new show.
Mm-hmm. It was funny.
I watched it.
I saw one episode, and the episode I saw was funny.
And it's giving like old school, but not old. New meets old school. Funny vibes.
I love that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I've been watching it.
Yeah, but that My Wife and Kids.
But they pumped really up, so they pumped out as individuals and as a family so much in the 90s and 2000s.
They gave us a lot.
They I think. Man,
they should have had their own network.
They should have had their own network. I think that would have been like
kind of like how Tyler Perry has all his shows. I think they could have done something like that. Like
for sure, they could have had a universe.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think what I'm excited to see in the coming years, I don't know if it'll ever happen, but probably I would love to see their story, their documentary, like that would be really good. Go into them.
That would be good.
And figure out sit down with each one of them.
But Cat Williams supposed to be bought a studio.
Really?
Yeah, supposed to buy some land to build a studio.
Oh, God help us. Maybe he opened the portal last year. He get that studio.
But
you know what? We probably get some good content.
Oh yeah, you know why I like him? Because he's smart. He's not just
he's
funny.
smarter than people think.
He's very, very, very smart. Like high intelligence and like, you know, has eloquent and smart and deep things to say, but he's also very funny. So when he caught that lady hands gnarled. You're gnarled. Cause she tried to talk about his hair. He wasn't having it. That went viral before viral was a thing.
Who has on $20 worth of jewelry in this building? 19 accusations, 0 convictions.
Knock it
Jail
off.
and prison are different. They're not the same. Thank you. Knock it off. That man is funny. It's just with Cat Williams, you do kind of got to pick up. Because he'll say 19 things untrue, but then the 2 things he do say that are true are like the biggest truths ever told.
No, I haven't seen him lie yet. I haven't seen him lie. He said he could run like a whatever flat, and then
I don't believe that book thing.
I don't know, but he said he could run, and then they video him
and
running it, and he ran it. So I'm not here. I don't know your life, but interesting things have been.
He even still. It's funny that you brought him up, though. Because I'm just thinking about, he even still has iconic things. Because the Diddy want a party, you got to tell him no. Even in 2024. No.
He's iconic. He a meme. He got so many memes. He said, I'm going to be there. You know I'm going to be there. You gonna be. It's so many things from just that one interview that he said that was just went. Carried, people said it all year long.
Through the year.
Yeah, through the year.
I would have to agree. Dave Chappelle, for me, honestly, is like one of the most. I love his storytelling.
Yeah, he could tell
the ability to like take us through the wilderness. We see the trees, we see everything, and then we see the destination. And so I love that. I love good storytelling.
Oh, for sure.
In writing and everything. And then obviously the skits. Iconic. The skits iconic. Growing up on the Dave Chappelle show, I don't know. I feel sorry for the kids who post Dave Chappelle.
Y'all didn't
because
have that.
In real time, seeing it,
we had the best shows.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for
we had the Boondocks, Aaron Magruder, who isn't a traditional stand-up comedian but is hilarious in his writing.
But we had the best sitcoms. We had the best comedic skits. We had the best. We had Living Color. We had so many shows, but y'all didn't really got. That's tough. I feel sorry guys.
Yeah, I think we had this conversation about there's honestly. Not any like Full teen House. Or young adult shows anymore.
Like teen, we had Friday, like
TGI Fridays.
TGIF Friday. You got your food and y'all watched the shows.
And you watched, and it was people you could relate to in your age range. Yeah. You had people in that
Family Matters, Stefan, Arcade. Why do we feel like that was a whole different person?
TV was way different back then, y'all. We didn't have the CGI capabilities and the AI and the 4K.
Can we give him kudos though? Because he really did play like that was a whole
Jamal,
different. Yeah,
or Jamal, I think.
Like that was a whole different person. And it did feel like a whole different person.
Yeah, he did good.
He did that.
Changing that personality or whatever.
And it gave cool and, vibey.
He did. I think that was maybe one. Yeah. You didn't really. That was, I want to say, probably one of the first times I saw and that I could think about in TV history. You had comedians primarily, but you had people playing multiple roles. Like you had the Martins, who was playing his mama, Shanae and all that. Even in Living Color, Jamie Foxx playing Wanda, I think was her name. But this was the first time he was like a man on man, and like he's like nerdy and then cool. So shout out to Jamal White. I believe his name is.
He did that.
For sure, he did. Urkel wasn't supposed to be a steady character.
He wasn't. He was only supposed to be on the first episode.
And made the show.
Made the whole show. That's incredible.
7 or 8 seasons, I think they had.
Incredible.
Based off of that, and then he went to space.
Never came back. Was eating cheese on on the
spaceship. Yeah, Dave Chappelle for sure. And I gotta go Bernie Mac.
Okay.
I gotta go Bernie Mac just because I remember seeing The Kings of Comedy.
Okay.
And
Looking cookies.
He want my cookies. And he's just talking to me like I'm short.
It's my city stand up.
Yeah, I just remember being like, this, nobody can be funnier than this.
Oh,
like, this funny. Is funny. And then the Bernie Mac show, hilarious. Yeah. Like, don't touch my good. DVD player. Don't touch my stereo. Don't touch my lights. Don't touch my juice in the fridge.
You know who was funnier on Bernie Mac to me? The little boy.
The little boy was funny. Boy. But he said that Bernie Mac taught him comedic timing.
Oh, yeah.
And like he would funny. Work off of Bernie, and Bernie would be like, don't be afraid.
Yeah, he was
say
so
this. I wish I could have seen more for him too. But yeah, Bernie Mac to me was like just so freaking funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. We'll do one more and we'll get into Artist Corner.
Okay.
No, I do what I can.
You the theme song.
Ooh wee! These are good. I'm looking at, shout out to our producer. She gave us some great prompts. I wish we had time to go through all of them. Let's see. Let's do. Okay. I like this one because a lot of these are kind of like prompts. What's the best music movie of all time?
Oh. I have two. I have a top two, and they equally
do your first, and then whatever you want the honorable mention to be.
They're equal to me. I can't choose between them.
$1 million on the table. Shocker to your head.
Okay, look at the cinematography. If we're looking at just in every category, cinematography, acting, I gotta go with Temptations.
Ooh, that's good.
Because although I feel like the 5 Heartbeats are my favorite, the Temptations, the cinematography, the iconic sayings, it was really Leon for me. But Leon's in both films, so that's why it's very.
But he's different in the Temptations than he is in 5 Heartbeats.
But I loved him as David Ruffin. I like when he was like, he was outside, he was going crazy.
He was like, y'all trying to sign me up?
Y'all
made y'all.
Y'all like in search of a David Ruffin.
He was like, without me, y'all just the Temptations in search of a David Ruffin. Just some fake tips. And ripped it up.
And then smiled.
He was like, I don't care.
And then smiled.
And then that tear turned around. And he got all sad walking back to that car.
That was some iconic
realizing.
Acting.
He was like, what they saying, Otis?
When
Blue, what you think? What you got to say, Blue? He was like, well.
When he walked in and the light came out, he was like, but I don't.
I'm David Ruffin,
and these are the Temptations. Iconic. He was iconic.
Leon did so good in the early 90s. Yeah.
I think he does not get his flowers because he made some great. He did Little Richard.
Yeah.
He did the Temptations. He really made that movie. Otis was really good. The guy who played Otis was really good.
He was
really fine. I don't know.
You know, he was. I used to think he was handsome too.
He had such beautiful features, like beautiful eyes, beautiful nose. Okay, anyways, back to what I was saying. But like David Ruffin, he just was so iconic.
Yeah.
Iconic. That I think is the Temptation for me. And after that, 5 Heartbeats. Even though I love the 5 Heartbeats, like dear to my soul. I love it.
Man.
Boom, boom. Paul drinking. The drinking scene.
And he was at the piano. My life. It was just so sad.
It was so sad. And it was just like the whole thing. It showed them from top to bottom when they was the primates and the primes and how they all came to be, and then the part with his mom, and then when his son, he was like, why can't you be my father? Why are you always on the road?
Now I'm gonna told you, in my family, that was a comedic scene, because that boy was like, why you always on the road?
Why you always on the road? Why you saying like that? Why you on the road? Why can't you be my father?
And threw that basketball.
Baby, that was funny.
He was dead serious, but man, that was funny.
That's funny. That was not supposed to be funny, but it was.
It wasn't. We'll find a comedy in something, baby.
Baby, black people.
Oh my God, that's a good choice. You know, you got me thinking about it. And when you were saying that, it made me also think about The Color Purple.
Oh, see, The Color Purple is very, very high up there. It is iconic. It is literally, that's like top 3. I really can't pick because I really love The Color Purple. But I really love The Temptations. I love The Temptations. That's really hard. Those are 2 of my favorite movies of all time.
That's fair.
All time. God, it's iconic scene.
Yeah.
They busting the church doors. Lawrence Fishburne had that trombone.
Oh, yes. Wow. I completely forgot about that. I gotta go. Only reason, because you make great valid points. Cinematography, story from beginning to end. Acting is great. The Temptations is great.
It is.
The only reason I'm going with the 5 Heartbeats is because of the original soundtrack.
That soundtrack, money. Who sang
if the Temptations wasn't kind of an autobiography kind of thing,
was it the Platters that's based off of?
It's like he said it was a mixture, but I think the Platters is like
who sang the soundtrack? The Platters.
The Platters.
They ate down.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm going with 5 Heartbeats.
I was just a young boy,
still playing with my toys, hanging out with the guys until I realized,
baby, stop running around. That's like iconic. Love that movie.
Love that movie.
Like top two for sure.
For sure, I agree. Temptations, all that is up there too.
I love the Temptations. I love me some.
Y'all, if for Black History Month, go back and just look at some iconic black movies, y'all. Man. It's so many to choose from. It's a plethora. Maybe next episode. Yeah, maybe next episode we'll go through some of our favorite black iconic movies that were staples to us and in our household.
Staple.
We're gonna just take a couple of minutes to go through Artist Corner before we get into our lesson with the lovely Tarrah.
Artist Corner. Let's talk about our health.
Okay.
And wellness as artists.
Yeah.
I like that, right? That is so important to being an artist, just about taking care of your instrument, especially if you're a singer or you're a dancer or, creatively, just overall wellness. We could, first of all, let's talk about body. Maybe another episode we'll talk about mental wellness, but body-wise, as a singer, you have got to really be intentional about your health, especially as far as drugs and alcohol. I as someone who sings their whole life, alcohol really does a number on your voice. You are not your best self doing drugs and alcohol. And we can look at people like Whitney Houston and we're like, man, she still had a banging voice. First of all, Whitney Houston was a freak of nature. She's an anomaly. An anomaly. Most people, and even her being an anomaly, it took her about 25 to 30 years for it to catch up with her, because eventually she did lose her voice.
Yeah.
After about 25 years, right?
Yeah.
But you have to really take care of your body, because your body is your instrument. So if you're drinking and you're drying out your voice, and then you are dehydrated, it really affects your ability to perform. What you eat really matters. When I used to go to a voice teacher, he knew what I ate based on how I sound. On my range, he'd be like, I'm moving up the range. La, 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 la. Like he's moving and I'm like, I hit my max. He's like, what did you eat today? Because you can go way higher than what you're going. And he was right. I probably had a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and he's like, yeah, now you got acid reflux, or now you have some inflammation, or don't eat this, or don't eat that. And so you have to figure out what triggers your body and causes inflammation. So I have to stay very much aware of inflammation. That's why sometimes if I know I haven't been doing great, I'll tell you one herb that is like a singer's or a performer's best friend, and that is ginger. It is, highly anti-inflammatory. It really, you can take it in the pill form. It's really strong. It'll, like, in about an hour, really lessen your inflammation in your body. So you'll notice you'll be able to have a higher range, right? So you just have to be careful and be aware that is definitely a herb that's really helpful. You can also grate it. You can drink it in teas and all of that. It's very good. But the healthier you are as far as working out, exercising, your breath control, your core, having core strength. I notice that I can sing stronger and longer and hold my breath longer when I have a stronger core and I'm working out. But if you are physically well, you'll be able to perform well. Even if you're playing instruments, singing, dancing, all of that, it really matters how you take care of your body. So really be aware of that and stay in shape. And especially if you are an independent artist, you never know when that opportunity is going to come for you. So if you've been drinking for 5 days straight and the next thing you know, you're like, oh, you got a call. Oh, you can perform tomorrow at this, event. And you're fully dehydrated and your voice is shot. You're not ready. And I always say this, you're like, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And so constantly be in a state of readiness. Take care of your body. Exercise. Eat well. Make sure you're taking your vitamins and your herbs, and make sure you're strong so that you'll be ready for the next opportunity.
Okay. For longevity, stamina, and overall health. I love that. Thank you so much. I love that. Next week we'll probably talk about mental health as an artist.
Mental wellness, yeah.
Y'all be in shambles. Y'all be in me as well too. So we doing the best we can with what we got.
We all.
For sure. So great. This week, if you tuned in last week and if you didn't, take this opportunity after you listen to go back and hear what we talked about. We talked about starting over in different stages of life, whether it be moving or anything. And you touched on knowing your worth. And I thought that would be a great conversation to have because, I feel like now more than ever, there's this seeking of external validation. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't before. We grew up as someone who's always been more heavy-chested, a little bustier, all these things. I grew up in an age where slim, no kind of chest, all that. So I had my moments where I'm looking at magazines, I'm looking at videos, like, this is tough. But you see it everywhere now. It's like no escaping it. If you don't have the TV on, you got your phone. If you don't have a phone, you got friends showing you things. So I thought it would be important to talk about knowing your worth and how to not seek external validation.
Man, I love that.
So what would you constitute as knowing your worth? Like, how can someone, if I'm looking at myself and I'm asking the question, do I really know my worth? What would be some things I should be like looking at or asking myself to understand if I actually like knew my worth or not?
Yeah, I love that. I really think that you have to go back, and have a understanding of who you are as an individual and where you come from.
Okay.
And that lends itself to like many different areas, right? So that could be like your history, like where you're from, who your family is, like where you belong, like your that also like who you are in God. I personally as a believer, like who I am in Christ, knowing my worth. So and then also about who you are is your personal identity. But when I say your history, it's something about knowing where you come from that instills this.
I could see that.
This identity and purpose and confidence.
It gives you kind of roots.
It gives you roots. It really does.
Watch Roots. Message! This is a serious conversation, but I love... She didn't know I was going to do that. So.
I was already... But, like, it really does. It gives you roots in it. It gives you, like, a foundation. Mm-hmm. And my dad used to make me sit down and watch Eye on the Prize. For those of you...
Oh, my God. I remember that movie.
It was like a series.
Yes, it was like a short, kind of like the Jack the Five.
Keep your eyes
on the prize. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Okay, so what it was a documentary about, like, Black people in America and their journeys, civil rights movement, and all that stuff. And, like, your Black history, ideally. It's Black History Month. Look at that. And I'm not just, relegating that to just Black people in general, but it does something when you know where you're from.
Yeah.
Like, Nigerians, they know they're Nigerian. Like,
yeah.
Like, they are confident.
African Americans really don't have a pinpoint.
Yeah, it's tough because our history was stolen, we don't... Rewritten, whitewashed, things were created, were taken, and, they knocked the noses off the pyramids. I mean, all kind of weird stuff to try to keep our history from us. Some have Indian heritage. That is whitewashed as well. It's very, very confusing. You really have to dig, and depending, you may find it, you may not. It's just very hard. So, but even just in your family, just kind of knowing what were the gifts in your family. Is your, was your father a teacher? Was his father a teacher? What did they do? It kind of gives you context for why you are the way you are and who you are. And I'm the daughter of a preacher, a social worker, and a Sunday school teacher. And I'm like all of that rolled up in one.
Yes, you are.
And it gives you context and gives you understanding for who you are and why you are that way. And so it helps you to be able to look within and look back and look up versus looking out for other people to tell you who you are. Like, validate me. But in some ways you will still want to do that because you might not understand a part of yourself. Like, I'm very musical, and I don't know where that comes from because nobody in my family is super musical like that.
Yeah,
so part of me was like looking for someone to say, you know what, you're good
down
at music.
The line.
Hey, that you are good, because that's not something I was bred around, and so I understand that, but a big part of it, I really think that looking back, understanding where you come from can really help give you context to who you are and why you are the way you are.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. I never thought about, like, knowing if you have entrepreneurs in your family. Why do I have this business mindset and want to have my own?
And learn to figure out your grandfather had a business or, all of this.
Wow.
I believe we talk about generational curses, but also believe in generational blessings as
Absolutely.
Well, that there are gifts, and just because you don't know about it doesn't mean it's not in operation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish there were easier ways for us to be able to do things like that. To trace really down.
Yeah, maybe in the future.
I have thoughts about some of my really, really far down lineage that I don't know about. I was thankful enough to know all of my grandparents, know my great-grandparents, know where, last name O'Brien, where that Irish comes from. My great-grandfather was Irish. Having met him, knew that. And so it does make a difference when you kind of know those things and knowing your worth and knowing who you are and establishing yourself. I think it's important before those formative years before we start seeing anything in the home getting that validation is important. And some people don't get that, a lot of people, actually, I would probably say don't get that. And you said something so powerful about, looking back, and I think for some people, if there's absent parents,
that's hard.
Then it adds to that lack of identity.
Yeah.
Because there are these questions that you have
Who
all of
am
these
I?
lack of answers to. You see traits in yourself, like let's say you're just with one parent and you can pinpoint, oh, I'm like my mom or I'm like my dad in these ways. And then you see traits that don't look like this person that you've grown up with. And it's like, where did these traits come from? Because I don't know this other person that made me with their DNA inside of me. So
I've seen a documentary where a woman, she was adopted, and I think this maybe it was like on American Idol. She was adopted, and it turns out she can really sing and really play. Well, it turns out when they went back and found her bio mother was a musician.
Wow.
And a singer.
That would have broke me down.
Broke down.
I would have
broken down. And it turns out, and she was like kind of famous too.
Wow.
Yeah, and so she was able to like hear. She met like the rest of her family, and they were able to connect. And she was able to like hear her mother's records and stuff like that. But she never knew where she got this gift from. And it turns out her mother was a musician, and she never grew up with her. And so that, never was around her, but she still had the gift, and it was just like in her. So, sometimes it gives you context when you find out, where you're from and, all of that. But if you can't do that, I think it's important to like take some time and really allow yourself to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And I think as parents, my mother was gracious enough to put me in like piano lessons at 7, even though my family that wasn't her thing.
But she just saw it in you.
She just saw that I had this performative, hack for music, and I'm going to get in front of the camera and just show out. You know what I'm saying? Like, do the most. And so I think she felt led by God to do it. But it helps you to cultivate. And if I didn't do well in it, it's okay. But to try and figure out where you belong, and so that you can find your niche and find your place in the world and find your gift, and because we're all looking for acceptance. Like, hey, accept me, and tell me who I am, and tell me what I'm good at, and tell me you love me.
We're looking for people to tell us who we are too. That is a big one. Yeah.
So it's to find your purpose, right? And what you're good at, the thing that you do easily, which can be kind of difficult because sometimes, you don't take it seriously because it comes so easy to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like everybody can write. No, but you can write right. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? No, you can tell a story. No, you can make it come alive. But everybody can do. No, everybody can't do that. Everybody can't tell a story with their voice. No, everybody can't draw the way you draw, or everyone can't,
cook a meal the way you cook a meal,
or make sense of numbers the way you do,
organize,
and so some things are so easy that you like. That's not a thing.
Easy, yeah.
No, but it's your thing. That's why it's easy to you, because it's your thing. So I really think that, looking back, finding your purpose, what you're good at, can really help you not look to other people to validate. A part of us is always going to want to do that, but finding your purpose and cultivating that is huge.
I think for me, there's a difference between you're so true. A part of us will always be seeking validation, but there's a difference between seeking reassurance and validation.
That's so
for
good.
Me.
That's so good.
Because when you know who you are, sometimes you are drawn to people who reassure that or reaffirm it. Mm-hmm. And so, but if you don't, then you're like, well, you tell me I'm this. You told me I'm pretty, so maybe I'm supposed to be this. Mm-hmm. Or you told me that I look good in this, so maybe I should always be dressed in this way. Mm-hmm. I think knowing how to understand how to seek internal versus external validation, operative word is internal. Mm-hmm. You start to really talk to yourself. Some of us know what we want, but we don't know what we don't want. And those are two different things. So there have to be multiple lists of things that you kind of go through in your mind, where it's like, I like this, and I like this, and I like this. But actually, what don't I like? I need to also know that, so that when it comes up, it's like, I know that that's not me. That's not something that I want to be a part of, or who I am in my validity. And knowing and understanding, and we had a great episode about social media a couple of episodes ago where we talked about step away from the phones, but don't step away from the phone while you listen to this podcast. Where sometimes you got to step away from social media because it is so easy to look at something you think is working, and we touch on this a lot. You talk about it being authentic. Something's working, and so we want to do it. But it's not us.
It's not our thing.
It's not our thing. It's working because it's them.
You know how many things I have done because it's working for somebody else and it's not my thing, and I just was struggling.
And you're like, why is this not working?
It's not working for me. It
worked for XYZ. Okay, but that was XYZ's thing. It's not your thing.
I cannot leave this conversation without adding the element of faith, because, I feel like God gives us all gifts.
Yep.
And we all have a gift from our Creator. And sometimes that thing is not working because God is like, yeah, that's not your thing. And if I bless you over here, then you're going to stay over here. And you're not ever going to do the thing that you were born to do. Yeah. And if you don't do the thing that you're born to do, who is left without because you didn't show up and become what you were supposed to become, And so I think that a big part of not having to seek validation from others is when you really get it in your mind that, man, this is what I was born for. The performance I just did, I sang in front of thousands of people, streamed all over the world. And
she said yes, y'all.
I said yes.
You could hear the majority of that story a few episodes ago, but she said yes.
And this is not a tooting of a horn. This is testimony, okay? The only reason why and people were like, aren't you nervous? They were asking me all day, like, I'm getting ready, I'm about to be in front of thousands of people. Aren't you nervous? Because I only found out that I was going to do it that same week, like a few days before that, right? Aren't you so nervous? Aren't you so nervous? No, because in my mind, I had going through that time where I was trying everything but the thing that I was born to do. So I was trying to do everything else but that thing, because I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, that's not secure. That's not stable, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, let's just put that to the side. And my life is going nowhere. My life is doing nothing.
Jesus, help
it is literally stagnant. And I'm like, God, I'm crying now. I'm, Lord, why? What's going on? I love you. I read your word. I pray just to make it today. I say we pray. Pray. I'm doing all. I love you. I'm your girl. We like this.
You my man, 100 bands.
Period. We here. What's wrong with my life? Fix it.
Younger.
I know. Fix it. So I'm like, Lord. And he's like, yeah, you're not doing what I called you to do. I'm like, that thing over there, that's really not, I don't really want to do that. He's like, yeah. And that's, anybody could do. No, anybody can't do that. That you can do that. And so I was like, okay. So after being on a struggle bus for many months, I finally said, it's nothing else I can do.
Enough.
I'm tired. I'm like, my arms are too short to box with God.
You was a giraffe. This is how he saw you.
I'm tired. And so at that point I said, okay, Lord, I yield, because I'm going to do only the thing that you call me to do. And that gave me the validation. So when people talk to me and say, aren't you nervous? No, I was born for this.
Man, you better.
I was born for this. And if I don't do it, my life gonna be stuck. So we're not going down that road.
I don't even care if I'm nervous. I'm doing it.
I'm doing it.
I'm doing it.
Hello, is this thing gone? I'm doing it. And it's like, how do you get up there with confidence? It's nothing else I can do. He won't let me do nothing else. So I'm confident at the thing that I'm doing right now. So I hope that gives you validation, because there's something that you were born to do, right? Like there's something we're all born to do, that it's God's mercy and his love that says, I'm not going to let you be successful over here forever. You know, everything has a time limit, but I'm going to allow you to hit a wall and ask me, man, what should I be doing? And then, so you can, and once you have that validation from God, now you can step in the world and have a Kanye kind of mentality. I'm not saying act like Kanye, but I'm saying, but you have this confidence, Kanye confidence. You have this confidence or this confidence like, yeah, you can't tell me nothing because this is what I'm supposed to do. So it don't matter.
I don't care what you say.
It's for somebody. It might not be for y'all, but maybe in Europe they'll pick it up, or maybe in Africa, or maybe in China, or maybe Eurasia. I don't know, but it's for somebody.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what gives boldness and confidence that you were born for this. And I think looking back on your history, you're like, man, this all lined up and came together in a way that I'm meant to do this. I'm meant to be here. You know?
Yeah.
So
I love that. And we would be remiss without saying that we find our validation in God. Period.
Man,
that's really where we
are
faith driven.
I can't front.
When you can say, whatever you want, but I know who God said that I was. Mm-hmm. And so, and I'm not saying that it was an easy journey to get there.
Ooh, no. Struggle.
But you really knowing your worth and getting to your validation. I love what we've discussed. I love you saying the confidence and just knowing what you were born to do. Because I think innately a lot of us, we know what's there. We just reject it sometimes, or we're too scared to press in or tap into it. But like you said, the things that come easy and naturally to you are normally in accordance to your purpose and what you were born to do.
You're natural being.
For sure.
And when I say not looking for external validation for like your purpose as well, and I don't want to relegate everything to the fact that just doing, but just you being a human. You are loved, you are accepted. It changes you when you have an understanding. It does something to your mental health, to your peace of mind, knowing that you are loved by someone, even when everybody in your life is acting a monkey fool.
Yeah,
or maybe treating you badly, or your significant other isn't loving you or validating you or seeing you or appreciating you. In your mind, knowing somebody loves you, baby, Pat LaBelle, and that somebody is Jesus. God love you.
That's
even when other people not checking for you
and treating you like you're throwaway, you're disposable.
Treating you like a yellow starburst,
and you are not a yellow starburst.
You are not. You ain't never nobody yellow starburst. Never. Okay, the black jelly bean. You're not that.
Never the black licorice.
Don't nobody want that licorice.
Even though they tried to make because why white paper got to have black lines. Message.
Okay.
Message.
Somebody take it from her. Okay, so
because we was wolves. but for real, yes, knowing it, and I keep going back to social media because I know the youth, and when I say youth, because I'm an auntie. I mean, my nieces and nephews who are the youth, 18 range, and going to college. I'm not that anymore.
I'm not that.
It is curation. It's not real.
It's not real.
People show, even when people are like, even when you see people who post, everybody posts the wins, but they never post the fails. That was still a curated video that they did to post that fail. Yeah. I'm not saying they curated the fail, but it was still a curation of the video of what they wanted you to see in that fail. It's not real. And so I want to end off with just give your top 3 pointers to someone who is trying to figure out and grow and strengthen their self-worth and validation.
I would say, I can't get around this. I'd say read your Bible.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it's a book about love. It's a book, I know, it's a book with lessons, life lessons. God talking about how he loved you richly, his mercy toward you, his kindness toward you. He wants, teach, it's so much love in that book, and you're dealing with fallen people in a broken world. So of course there's going to be some other stuff in there too, but it just tells you how imperfect people and people can be loved by a perfect God, and it just changes you, And get you a Bible you can understand. So I'd say that number one, it changed me, and it still changes me every day. I'd say number two, your community. The type of people you surround yourself. If you surround yourself with people who are abusive and jealous, and unfriendly, unkind, you're trying to build yourself up, but they're constantly kicking you down a notch. That's hard. It's hard to maintain your self-worth. I don't care how strong mentally you are. It eventually is going to get in there. As you are pursuing, you can only hear so much negativity before it starts to affect you.
Yeah, that's very true.
And so I think, be careful of, who's around you and what you listen to. And I say the third thing is like what you put into yourself. You can have control over what you listen to. Maybe the people around you don't see it, but you can listen to Les Brown. You can listen to motivational speakers. You can listen to great teaching, great preaching. You can watch YouTube to learn how to hone your skill. That's something. Or encourage you or be uplifted. That is something that you can control. Maybe you can't control who you live with, but you can control what you listen to and what you feed yourself.
Yeah.
And, trash in is trash out. So what you feed yourself will definitely show up in your output. Just like what we eat shows up in our hair and becomes our hair, our nails, our skin, and if we're having problems in our bones and all that, it's because of what we are feeding. So those are things I would say.
Excellent. I agree with all three of those. I think for real, all of that. I really have nothing to add. Y'all study guide for this week is to digest this message, and I want you all to write out who you think you are.
Ooh.
Currently, just who do you think you are, and then write out who you want to be.
I love that.
And look at that and kind of compare, take notes, ponder on it, and seek validation that affirms who you want to be.
And validate your own self.
Validate yourself. You're your own validator, sometimes Parker. Okay. Your ticket is stamped in heaven. Yeah. Validate yourself.
Speak kindly to yourself. Yeah. Think well of yourself.
Yes, I'm going to add one more thing.
Get you a friend that'll talk well to you, that'll hype you up.
Because I hypes my friends up. Because
and I hype you up.
Great. You do. I'm going to add one more thing to y'all, because this is, it's going to sound, some people say it's frou-frou, but it's not. Look at yourself in the mirror.
For real.
Like really, like an actual physical mirror. I don't mean like metaphorically. Get an actual mirror, go in your bathroom, look in that mirror, clean it off from them toothpaste sprinkle stains or whatever.
Hate those.
Just clean it off first. Or the dust mites that have been living there for the past 6 months. Then go look at yourself and really, I want you to just stare at yourself for like 2 to 3 minutes. And really affirm yourself. Yes. Say some affirmations to yourself. Write some if you want to.
On your mirror.
I have Post-its all around my mirror and everything, and I'm not ashamed of it. I don't care. Because every day you have to wake up and make a choice. Yeah. And so that choice could either be me loving myself and affirming who I want to be and on my way to it, or, not doing that. Yeah. Our minds are gardens. And so you water the negative, the negative's going to grow. You water the positive is going to grow. It's garden. Love that. It really is. And so y'all do that. And we cannot wait to hear. Drop in the comments below what are your favorite affirmations.
I love that.
Y'all drop it in the comment below. We are so thankful to all of you all for tuning in to another episode. We can't wait to be with y'all next week. You know where to find us. We are at Funny Podcast on our socials. That is at FUNIPODCAST. That's on Twitter. That's on Instagram. And, TikTok's still around. We'll maybe do one. We'll see. But you all can see us here on YouTube with these visuals that take some time and effort.
Come on.
And we would love for you to, show your appreciation by liking, commenting, and sharing, and subscribing, and sending it to the last 5 people you text to your phone. We love you so much, and we will see you next week.